We have an infestation here, and it must be cleansed. The boggart raiders and their cretinous progeny are below, and I say none shall leave this valley alive. In the vast expanses of the multiverse, one would be surprised to learn that many races can be found across many worlds. In a cosmos of near infinite possibilities, some species seemed destined to pop up wherever they can. Mankind is the most populous, being found on nearly every named world, building great civilizations in virtually any environment. But a close second to humanity is the green-centered race of forest dwellers, known to all as the Elves. Whether on Dominaria, where they serve as guardians to the wild forests of their ancient ancestors, or on Ravnica, where they often tend to what little greenery remains, elves can be found across the many worlds without much difference in their appearance. An exception to this, however, is the breed of elves native to the distant and fanciful plane of Lorwyn, who hold the distinction of being perhaps the most unique elves found virtually anywhere in the multiverse. Though at first glance striking because of their tall height and thin, lithe shapes, the Lorwyn elves have a more noteworthy difference about them. While virtually all elves possess pointed ears, the Lorwyn breed takes their fanciful nature further by possessing both goat-like horns adorning their head and feet shaped as cloven hooves. In this way, they bear a closer resemblance to the satyr of Theros than they do most other elves in the multiverse. Furthermore, while elves on other planes boast a lifespan greater than most other mortal races, with many able to live over 200 years, nearly the opposite is true for the Lorwyn elves, who can be expected to have a lifespan of about 40 years. And though Lorwyn elves differ biologically from most others of their race, greater still are their cultural differences. Elves on many planes carry an air of superiority, believing themselves better than other races, but the Elves of Lorwyn take this arrogance to new heights. These elves view the world through a lens of beauty, with virtually all things being valued based on what is pleasing to their eyes. In elven society, known to them as the Blessed Nation, all things are ordered in accordance to a societal code called the Laws of Beauty. The Elves of Lorwyn are divided into many clans, the mightiest of which being the Guiltleaf. But more important than one's clan, more important than their achievements, one's beauty determines their position. The beauty of anything in Lorwyn is determined by the admirers, masked judges whose proclamations determine an elf's rank in the Blessed Nation. At the very top of this society stands the Perfects, effectively the ruling caste. Elven Perfects are the absolute pinnacle of beauty and artistic talent. These elf lords are absolute, having total dominion over lesser elves. Their orders are to be obeyed without question, and those of lower rank who so much as annoy them can be slain without reprisal. The second highest rank belongs to those blessed with the title of Exquisite. This rank belongs to courtiers, artists, and spiritual leaders of the Blessed Nation. The Tersons, those elves who lord over multiple hunting packs, are also of the Exquisite rank. The Tersons are the generals who lead the Blessed Nation's forces to victory over whatever foes they encounter. The Immaculate rank would be the third highest in elf society, though it may be more appropriate to say that they are the second lowest. Those of the Immaculate caste are dignitaries and viziers of lower position, priests and artists yet to make a big name for themselves. In addition, Danes, those elves who serve as leaders to individual hunt packs, are often given the title of Immaculate as a reward for their honor, courage, and good service. Finally, there is the rank of Faultless, the most common caste in elven society. Those of this rank meet the bare minimum requirements of beauty from an elf's standpoint. All elves within the Blessed Nation fall within one of these four ranks, though another, 5th rank, does technically exist. It is possible that, through illness or injury, an elf of any rank can become maimed or disfigured. They, as well as those who have committed some treason against the elven people, are given the name of Eyeblight, and they are seen as the most hideous creatures to walk the lands of Lorwyn. While the ranks of the Blessed Nation are applied only to elves, the law of beauty dictates their relationship with all living beings on Lorwyn. While their rather rigid standards of beauty would naturally place elves at the top of the totem pole, the Blessed still have a largely peaceful relationship with many of the other races on their world. This is most evident with their relationship with the tree folk, whom the elves have a long history with. The elves often work alongside these tree folk, and as a result have some respect for their laws. Tree folk sages even occasionally take elven youth of some promise as apprentices, teaching them their mystic ways. Flamekin are sometimes relied upon for their skills with smithing, while merfolk are hired to ferry elves across rivers. Giants, though ugly by elven standards, are occasionally used as hired muscle in battle, and the Blessed Nation has been known to trade with the peaceful Kithkin. Of course, any good relationship the Blessed Nation has with the other races survives at the discretion of the Perfects, who could, at any time, for any reason, revoke their benevolent dealings with these lesser beings and turn violent. As a result, the elves can be seen as a fickle race, one to be treated with carefully in order to maintain good favor. But while most of the other races on Lorwyn have at least a chance of getting along with the elves, one that has no hope at all is the filthy, nasty tribe of hole diggers and bug eaters known as boggarts. These goblins are seen as the greatest blight upon the world, their very existence a stain on the beautiful land the Blessed are destined to rule. All elves hold nothing but hatred in their hearts for boggarts, the ugliest of all tribes. All boggarts are deemed eyeblights, and the best thing a boggart can hope for from an elf is a quick and painless death. Second only to the elves who have been cursed with the title of Eyeblight, boggarts are the greatest targets of elven hunting packs, which are often organized for the sole purpose of eradicating a boggart population. These hunting parties will use any tactic, any trick at their disposal to ensure the deaths of any disgusting boggarts they come across. Whether it be weaponized arrowgrass, poisons like moonglove, or enlisting the aid of their hunting wolves and trusted servant steeds. Once the hunt begins, no boggart could be suffered to escape, though death is only the most pleasant thing they could suffer. Elven druids have mastered the use of a parasitic plant known as nettlevines, with which they can convert eye blights and other ugly things into useful minions known as vinebread. These vinebread become powerful servants of the Blessed Nation, though the transformation drastically shortens their now subservient lives. On occasion, perhaps out of desperation, an elf will use nettlevines on themselves, giving them the strength needed to face virtually any foe. On the plane of Lorwyn, the elves are aggressive in their drive to eliminate all things they see as unpleasant and ugly. But with the coming of the Great Aurora and the conversion of the plane into the dark world of Shadowmoor, the elves of the Blessed Nation become far more defensive. The elves are changed little with the conversion of the world, with the most noticeable difference being their horns now have thorny growths upon them. In this dark and dreary realm, the elves are now beacons of hope and light. As the other tribes descend into darkness, the Blessed take up the task of securing and protecting what few good and beautiful things remain, though their obsession with the greater good leads them to make harsh choices, even now. The Elves of Lorwyn and Shadowmoor are among the most interesting races in the vast multiverse, their standards of beauty putting them at odds with those they'd consider ugly. Still, many noble individuals exist in their ranks, the most noteworthy of which would be Rhys and Morelin, central figures during the Lorwyn Shadowmoor story, though theirs is a story for another time. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or sharing this video with your friends. If you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, you'll be alerted whenever I upload new videos. If you have a topic you'd like me to discuss, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Finally, if you'd like to support me directly, well, I've created a Patreon for this channel. If you like what I do and want to help me out, go check it out. A link to it will be in the description below. Thanks again, and have a great day. What's this? A magic game with a suspicious absence of bees? My killer bees ought to put a stop to that!